take a look at my knuckles. See, then they are cracking dry. Yep, they're cracking. So dry. All right. Oh my gosh, you know what? I was gonna get my phone and play you something, but I'm like, right now, no. I am not going to do anything that I'm going to regret later on if I can consciously choose not to do it. I mean, no. Nope. Now, to get into the specifics of what happened. Okay, just with all the stuff I said was kind of just my feelings and just my experience and just all of that. The little, those details. Now let's look at the details of what actually happened. So, there's this assignment that we have to do where we take 2 of 5 stories and do a little mini essay analyzing them. So, while I was working on that, which is due tonight, by the way, at the end of the day. We also had, and the 5 stories included a play in which the class was supposed to read, but they didn't. The other thing I didn't think about yet is some people will probably want or not want to do this as a story for their writing, their essay writing. And the fact that I didn't read it, the fact that they did not read the play before class and that it's due tonight is, well, I would think that would be very troubling. Like they're kind of in pickle. I must say that, and I'm kind of trying to not play devil's advocate when I'm talking about this. But anyway, long story short, she went over the presentation for the play, the author, the plot, went through read sections of it. I was sitting there reading it, reading the play, trying to, make sense of it. But of course, book and the whole thing, I couldn't, make sense of what was going on and, answer the questions she was asking because they took higher level thinking and analysis and deep looking and trying to sort out and make sense of these little details in the story. She asked questions to the class, and she also assigned people to groups to look at the different genders. And, I forget what it was, but it had to do with genders. Something or other. So when there was this one scene in the story about a bird and how this bird was so significant. And the bird was killed, apparently, in this story. Trifles by, I forget the name of the author, Susan something or other. But so, not doing it justice, but anyway, and she was going through the different, going through the students, like asking, what do you think about the bird? What do you think? And then when they didn't answer her questions, she was like, when they didn't answer her questions, she was asking, having to do with the story, then she was very honest and laid in to people saying, from my perspective anyway, saying, well, we didn't read, did we? Going through, that's, how she said it anyway. Going through everyone, including me. And I remember saying, where are we at? And trying to look. It's sad about the bird. So I don't know if that was that people in the class didn't read about it, or actually the fact that something tragic happened to the bird. So I don't know. But anyway, so I mean, yeah. Then, and I was talking about these types of themes with just, it's very much about work. Reminds me of somebody else that I knew in middle school. She was a teacher who taught this really boring class, which was like we were in partners and we were different modules. We were doing these little activities and they required work, and I don't know. The whole thing about working at it, if somebody wants to preach that, and it is, and somebody is like the teacher whom I'm talking about, then it's kind of one of my pet peeves. I'm getting kind of tired of it. You may think it's Earth, you may think it's Taurus energy. Guess what? I don't believe that. I don't believe that entirely. I think that is a very old-fashioned, simple, dated, unrelaxing way, inaccurate way, dumb way just very unspiritual way of going about something. I can only try to get my mind to think this, or get my mind to feel this, or get me to feel this, or try to, be open to this and stretch into the territory of this, which doesn't seem spiritual. Try to think about it and make it spiritual. I'm done with that. It is what it is. If I feel this way about this thing, then okay, well, it is what it is. I'm not going to try to make it. I mean, I don't want to do that. It's only through real feeling. It's only through, I mean, if I'm drinking wine, well, guess what? I have the wine. I don't care how old I am. I don't like the taste of the wine. I'm not going to drink this wine. I don't like it. Done. I don't like it. Years later, if I come back and I honestly say, I like it. Well, honest, without any trying to push yourself and get your mind open and all of that. It's kind of certain stuff about her, and I hate to put people in a category, but this genre of older women is dated, old-fashioned, and, a train that may at worst crash and burn. And, this is, that's problematic. And if you come to my mention, then there has to be balance, and you cannot preach these unspiritual, stuff that I don't want to hear, that I don't need to hear, that don't help me, and that I don't really want to hear. Kind of turns me off, fuels the fire, really makes the person want to rebel. Try hearing. Well, you have to work at it, and put the work in and all that, and certain types of old-fashioned, firm, serious, it's on you, very stern and hard ways of how something is said to you, and say how you feel and see what you want to do. If you want to rebel, well, then you want to rebel. Rebel. Do what you feel that is right for you to do. There are some of us that are not the most, I hate to say this, but smart enough to date about these certain things and certain strategies and certain, just truths to things. And that's where it may not be the most smooth sailing. That's where there may be some problems. That's where it might enter the deep end of the pool. I should not have that. It's one thing to be strong and, formidable and admirable and, uplifting and, good, empowering, all those things. But it's another thing to just, turn something which is something enjoyable, interesting, very entertaining, impactful, all these type of adjectives into work well. I am going to be the one to say this. It is a college level class. However, you cannot back that up as a reason. That should have been checked off the list from the get-go. Check it off, it doesn't matter. What it comes down to is the teacher, his or her personality, the way that he or she structures the class, all those things. Specific to the class, not that it is, generally a college level class. That isn't saying much, and that's pretty darn shallow and pretty narrow. And, it can kind of dip into the land of being irritating at times. So, no. And, at the end of, and whilst we were going through reading, whilst we were going through discussing the story, I was enthusiastic. I wasn't interested. My eyes were tired. I couldn't read the page and even discern what I was looking at and see it clearly and try to take in the information of what was going on in the story and, try to find the answers to her questions and things. And, at the end of class, and, she was enthusiastic because, well, a lot of students did not read the story, and B, maybe she wasn't a huge fan of what she was actually teaching in the first place. A teacher can be more excited about something over something else, and that can show. And I could tell, that there was, disappointment that she wasn't very into it, and all those things, just that energy, just being, serious, and the, interest, taken out of it. And you say, oh, it's a lit class. How interesting was that? And, like it could be worse, and why are you not enjoying it? Well, again, guess what? You can say that, but it's only intellectual. It's only theoretical. Put yourself in that situation and feel, and just say authentically what you feel without trying to make yourself feel a certain way. Just accept what you feel. It is what it is. You feel this. You don't have to feel perfect, and you don't have to, like and be open to everything. To everything. It may be interesting, and it may be this and that, but no. I mean, some things you like, some things you don't. Some days you like, some days you don't. Some classes you like, some stories you like, some stories you don't like. That's the reality. That can only get to a certain point. That working of the brain, to try to get motivated and get in and be open to, well, you know what, throw that away. That can only take you up to a certain point of where you're probably hot and sweating at the end of the school year time, and you're exhausted, and then you're get burned out from doing that, and guess what, it doesn't last forever, and then burns out, and then you drop into what's real and what's humble and what's what you really feel, and you just accept that and invite it, and give yourself permission to not like every single thing that you do, that you engage in, that you read, that you watch, every single person that you have a relationship with, that you encounter, every teacher that you have a relationship with. So, she was saying to everyone at the very end of the class, well, you all need to reevaluate how you're using your time. And, the context of that was to address the class. I am evaluating, reevaluating, my time, how I'm using it, how I'm balancing my time between what I do on, social media and stuff for this mentioned, and what I need to do for, school and college and all of that. So yeah, it's not one or the other. Again, don't overwork yourself. I mean, there's only so many things I can say, and I hope that for people with Mercury and Taurus, they don't have a limited mind. I hope so. I really, really hope so. You know what? I just realized something. I don't have to get my phone. In fact, I can play for you a recording of what this person sounded like, so that you can sounds like, so that you can hear for yourselves who I am talking about. So, without further ado, I will pull it up for you all to see. If I can find it, I hope I didn't get rid of it, for goodness sakes. Oh, here it is. All right. So I just want you to just hear just what this person sound like in kind of, conjunction with all of the points that I have made. Okay, here we go. By the way, fair warning, if you have watched Rebecca Goldsmith, and if you have watched Penny Kelly, okay, for those of you, type yes in the chat if you know who Penny Kelly is. If you watch Rebecca Goldsmith and you've seen Penny Kelly on her own channel or, on Brecca's channel. If you have watched a video with Penny Kelly and just type yes or no in the chat. I want to see yeses or nos, please. So yes or no, have you seen Penny Kelly? Have you watched her? Have you heard her? Or have you not? Mixed answers, some yeses, some nos. Well, she will be sounding a lot like Penny Kelly. Similar personality, similar voice, similar mannerisms. Maybe similar philosophy and outlook on life. So just, little kind of, intro and preface to what I'm going to be playing for all of you. And then I will give you the little comparison over Penny Kelly once we're done. So I'm not going to play the whole thing, but just a little bit of this class that I recorded of her. And this is talking about 2 short stories, The Cask of Amontillado by Edgar Allan Poe. Some of you have read this story, saw the movie maybe, or just heard of it, or some of you haven't read the story, haven't heard of it. And then a very short story that we read, which was Girl by an author on Jamaica Kincaid. So here we go. Right, it up. I don't know if you can hear that. I can't hear that. Another little detail. I think it may be easier if she did not wear a mask every single class. Every class wears a mask. I haven't seen her face in real life, in the flesh, in action, speaking. So, that may affect the sound of you not being able to hear it. And, yeah, so I don't actually know what, I haven't seen her face in real life. So I also just want to, throw that out there as well. This is ridiculous. This is almost all the way up. Can you hear anything? Can you hear this thing? Okay. You know what? I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good thing I didn't go with that strategy. It would have complicated things quite a bit more. To sit through and re-listen to the, lecture and all that. No. Forget about it. The best strategy is to just take notes in there. Just sit there, take notes on my computer, because that's, if I do it off a phone, probably a phone, or written notes, then I won't take very many notes. But on the computer, I'll believe me, I'll take a lot of notes. So sorry about that. But we're in Mercury retrograde. So the rethink, design, reevaluate. So I just think it plays perfectly into that theme. Reevaluate how you use your time. Oh my gosh. Mercury is now in Virgo. I think I spoke about this on my Mercury retrograde in Virgo video. I have a post about time management, and I looked at time management today in a class, another class I had after Lit was over. Introduction. Oh, yeah, so just to throw that in there. So, Virgo has to do with being of service, being useful, being efficient, and managing your time and planning out your day, having a routine, all those things, functional areas of your life. So, reevaluating Mercury retrograde, how you manage, how you spend your time. Virgo, how you reevaluating Mercury retrograde, how you spend your time, how you manage your time, in Virgo. It's a synchronicity. That's what it is. And it's a coincidence that she said that at the end of class, and maybe saw my video about Mercury retrograde in Virgo, or know that Mercury is retrograde in Virgo, let alone that Mercury is retrograde. So that really, those two things just go together, and it was a coincidence that she said that when Mercury is retrograde in Virgo right now. So that was so obvious. I could feel how obvious that was when I said it, and maybe some of you felt that too. Some other little points that I want to point out. Forget about the South Node stuff. I'll send you the link. I just don't feel like I want to get into that stuff. But so some other things. Short film that I watched yesterday night about a YouTuber who was scamming people out of so much money, saying, "Oh, if you do this, I'm going to give you $1,000." And actually, he didn't have that money. So, and this channel in the film had enough subscribers to where you might have the community tab and other features that make you look rude, make you look like you're just rubbing your success into other people's face. And you cannot pay money to get those features. It comes from other people. It comes from inheritance. It comes from getting enough followers. So this person probably had the community tab, which I'll never use the community tab because I will never join any channel memberships ever again, because it's just rubbing your success into other people's face. Like, I have this many subscribers and I'm so excited. Well, it's wow, I'm I'm amazing, I'm doing well, I'm fabulous. Well, ooh, you need to think about other people that don't have the same things as you. The other thing, just one little point that I want to throw out there. Deborah Silverman has applied astrology, interview, the Star Community Library, Tell Me a Story, summer school. That's what she has. None of you will get into those classes because none of you have the money to afford them. They're for the rich. They are for the rich. And the people who are going through even tougher times in their lives do not have the money to pay for all that stuff. And maybe through the process of earning money, maybe they go through therapy and heal stuff. And maybe they go through therapy and heal stuff and fall in love with themselves, change their life, transform their life, fulfill their purpose, fulfill their destiny, buy things that are free, through things that are free. The best things in life are free. And that's the easier way. And yeah, so I probably will end up saving up for affording one of those things, but it has been outrageous. It's been a never-ending story. It comes back, and it goes away, comes back, goes away. Because Deborah Silverman is not, as commercial as other people. And so that commercialization is clear and obvious, and you can easily detach from it. But, if someone's being genuine and, now they ain't mix it, guilty you into that type of stuff more. So I just want to just shout out, there will be an opera, literally an opera about somebody, upset that they can't afford her course because it costs so much money. It will be an opera. We haven't touched on that genre of music in a while, but, more on that another time.